Black women are full of shit, man. People might be thinking to themselves, why do you keep making videos about black women? Because I keep coming across their content and their bullshit ass lies and half truths. So I was minding my business and watching, my typical gun control videos because I think tomorrow the Supreme Court, I'm gonna be over there listening to Armed Scholar, but they're about to make a decision on that New York. Not, but they're not gonna make a decision, but they're gonna have oral arguments tomorrow about the New York concealed carry. Uh, you know, all that stuff with the gun control and whether you can carry a gun outside the home and justifiable need and good cause, which they really put in place to make sure that niggas, can't have guns, right? That was a racist policies that were put into place to keep guns out of the hands of black people and other minorities, arguably. But the main focus has always been black people. And because those laws have been used against basically disarming white people, the white people filed their lawsuits, right, challenging it to the Supreme Court. And now that there's a majority of, conservative judges on the Supreme Court, they're going to rule on the thing. But anyway, so that's what I was doing. I was minding my damn business. And then I look at my recommendeds and I see what looks to be an attractive black female reporter. I said, oh, let me go and click on this because I want to have me a little look see. So I click on it. Paris Milan's video. I'm like, oh God, I'm not even subscribed to this woman. So the title of the video is something to the effect of beautiful reporter is harassed by, black man or some shit like that. I don't have it right in front of me right now. All I know is it said beautiful reporter. That's what kind of made me click on it in the first place. I was like, I was like, let me see this bad bitch, right? So I go and click on it. Paris Milan video. I'm like, oh, I already know what time it is. Evil black men. Rape and pillage. Rape and pillage. Right? And typical New York shit. Dude comes rolling up. 347, 347, yo, mom. All that typical New York shit. Where in New York, by the rest of the country standards, everybody in New York is a dusty because none of them have cars. That's just how New York is. Nobody has a car unless they're super wealthy because there's no place to park it unless you want to pay 35, 45. I don't know what it is during the COVID. Probably prices came down. But yeah, last time I went to New York, it was like $35 for parking. Okay. So most people don't have cars in New York. Even people that are in the six-figure range don't have cars in New York. They take cabs and Uber everywhere that they want to go. So, the dusty word is going to be thrown around a lot for people in the city of New York. Even people from New York. It's just stupidest thing in the world. But anyway, the woman is doing her little report interview. I'll put the link in the description box. She's doing her report. They're in the middle of the report. And, guy comes up, two black guys pass her, and one of them, tries to holler at her. 347. And clearly this is a prime example of a dude who's dusty. Maybe he's got a couple felonies, he's been in the streets. That's what he sounds like. And, the reporter, she gets to rolling her eyes. Obviously, she's not interested. The dude's trying to kind of like, assert his street swag that she's supposed to fall for, and she doesn't go for it. She's like, I'm in the middle of a job. Like, camera's rolling, I'm in the middle of a job. Like, no, I'm not interested. On top, being that who he is, what he looks like, what he's wearing, his touchy feelingness. Like, so he walks past her and like touches her, right? Which to me was inappropriate, but like, this is the part that gets me. This is where black women as a collective are not honest, okay? The demeanor of that dude for the last 25 years, at least in the Northeast, And black women, they can piss, shit, and fart and cry and mope. But this is the fact. These are the facts. This is reality. Okay? Black men, like this guy in that clip, this Dusty, do shit like that because it works. Because it works. I wish I could take all these women who talk shit. I wish I could take all these black women that talk shit. And I wish I could just grab all their baby daddies, for those that are single mothers, and just bring these guys to court. And you would have an unbelievable amount of women who would be embarrassed. Oh, they love to put it on the dude. Oh, he ain't this. Oh, he ain't that. Oh, he dusty. Da 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 da. But again, it's a reflection of not only the type of man that they fool with, or what they're attracted to, but what they were on in the past. You see, and I don't want to put it on this new generation, because I do think that it's a good thing that some of these women, especially if they're younger, like, less than 30, probably, 25 or so, those women I'll give a pass to. Those women, if Dusty comes up to them and they're like, I don't date Dusties, I'm like, good for you. Good for you. Right? Because these women should not be dealing with those guys. I wish that happened with my generation and slightly younger than me. But that didn't happen. Okay? For the past 25 years, these guys, in black women's eyes, were the cream of the crop. Okay? They asserted themselves, just as he asserted himself and went and hollered. And that's the funny part about, this whole dynamic back and forth between what is harassment versus what is a man failing to assert himself, where like an EL may think that she's pretty, but he's not going to go up and approach and say anything. Right? He's not going to be that bold. Or if he does approach, he doesn't have enough of the toxicity in order for her to be moved by the shit. And that's another thing. Like, even with this guy going up and approaching her, if he looked like Odom Beckham, a dude could approach the same way, and the woman will respond completely differently. If the guy, looked the part, if he was built, if he was, 6'4", if he was muscular, if he came in, he was like 3'7", she would be like, oh, she would just melt. But because the dude was just a bum ass looking dude, obviously he didn't think so, but he's just walking the street, just random attack, so to speak. And because of that, yeah, she wasn't feeling him, and now all of a sudden it's street harassment. Like Paris Milan, she put the title "Beautiful Black Female Reporter," whatever was titled, right? Beautiful reporter. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, I'm like, obviously he thought that she was beautiful. That's why he stopped her on the street and tried to, holler at her and say 347. Where's the colorism? Clearly was no colorism here. Now I know the colorism bandits are going to jump up and they'll be like, well, later on, what if he gets with her and then devalues her and then cast her aside, but he go off and marry a Latina? I'm like, that's not what we saw in this video. What we saw is a black man who was moved by a dark-skinned black woman's beauty and tried to holler. And obviously, she wasn't interested. And that's it. But like the part that really frustrates me about all this is the way that these women, like it's amazing how black women can embrace the timeline. Going all the way back to slavery, going all the way back to Harriet Tubman. They can embrace the timeline of the eternal black woman who lives forever in every black woman and experiences all of everything that every black woman since the beginning of time has ever experienced, because it's in their DNA. But then when it comes to modern times, and it comes to the accountability of things that black women have contributed to in terms of the way that black men respond in their behavior, these women want their own generation, or they want to completely separate them even from themselves from what they were on when they were younger versus what they're on now. Again, I'm old enough to know that over the last 25 years, these type of guys, they were winning. For further evidence, I direct you to the baby daddies of your nearest cluster of black women. You know, all these guys had, like, what do you think? That guy's a virgin? You think he's just so dusty that no black woman gives him the time of day? That's bullshit. These are the baby making dudes in the community. These are the dudes that women went for. And see, that's another thing. Like, you get these guys that, hey, maybe 10 or 15 years ago, he was the shit. Okay, maybe 10 or 15 years ago, when black women couldn't keep their hands off of him. But because he didn't achieve or accomplish anything, now he's just out there, 40 and change, or however old the dude is. I don't even know how old I can't tell how old he is because, black doesn't crack. But I'm saying, we kind of, as black people, we can gauge when a brother is older versus when a brother is, fresh out of high school. And I'm saying, these women, they come online and they try, they're so sophisticated now. They stand there on Mount Olympus, looking down their noses while holding their wine glass and their chalices, with their pinky extended out, sipping their Pinot Grigio, acting like, aristocratic Victorian white women. You know what I mean? When looking down upon these Negro peasants. And I'm like, for real? I'm like, these were the men that was just getting all of the punani. I mean, they were just getting it all, in the, mid to late 90s. They were just getting it all in the early 2000s to the mid 2000s. Like, they were just getting it all. These guys were sex. I mean, go back and look into some of the rap videos of the early 2000s. Oh, y'all remember? Do-rags, fitted caps without the keeping the sticker on it with the without the curve, because you know how white boys, they like to put that curve in their baseball cap, right? Black guys, we gotta have the duck bill, right? Timberland boots, fresh crispy white on white Air Force Ones, oversized t-shirts, big old Jesus chain, and what else? Some baggy ass jeans, some True Religion jeans or something. And that was pretty much it. Everything that basically like DMX embodied. That's what was in the early 2000s. I know some of y'all who don't remember 9/11 and all that other shit, so y'all don't know. You know what I mean? Like, go watch a movie like Belly. Like, that was it. Go read the comment sections of the scene where Belly was banging the shit out of Terrell Hicks. You know what I mean? Like, black women could not get enough of that. All that stuff, all that, Jewel Santana Dipset anthem. Dun, 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 dun. You know what I mean? Like they couldn't get enough of that shit. They couldn't get enough. The fucking spinning rims with the red bandanas on them. Oh, they couldn't get. They couldn't get enough of that shit. Now all of a sudden, oh, these niggas is dusty. Oh, there's so much. The one woman wrote a comment, there's so much dust here. I'm surprised she didn't catch asthma. I'm like, that's a good one. But I'm like, for real, now all of a sudden it's just dust. Everything is dust. And I'm like, and again, I'm glad black women are transitioning away from bullshit. But at the same time, the way that y'all try to act like, these black men's behavior just comes out of a void how it just comes out of the vacuum of space and that there wasn't a period of time. And even still, even now, that these women aren't moved by that. Yeah, at 30 something years old, 30 and change, yeah, I expect that you're beyond that now. I expect that, right? But some of these same women, again, with their pinkies extended, with their wine glass, and talking about how sophisticated they are, some of these same women were the same women that would date a dude like that back in the mid to early 2000s. But now they want to come online. Oh, street harassment, street harassment. I'm like, for real? Street harassment? No, this was grade A sexy back in the day. Guys like that do shit like that because it has worked in the past. If it didn't work, a guy would figure out very quick, like, hey, yo ma, they're not gonna get, they're not gonna be able to get a reaction or response like that. I just posted a video not a couple days ago of some sister, and she was pretty too. She running around New York, and they talking about, if you ain't from here, don't come here, all this other shit, right? And she's like this gangster female chick and everything. I'm like, where that guy comes from, there's a whole community of women like that. There's a whole community of women like that. You'll see it pop out of Ayami Loho from time to time, where she gets real New Yorkish on you. Okay? They like that shit. But, Paris, Milan, where the fuck is Paris from? Cali? You know what I mean? All they see is, it's dusty, it's dusty, this nigga is dusty. I'm like, you would be blown away at how many women are actually moved by that. I've sat there and watched the shit. Okay? Y'all forget I used to be a bouncer. I sit there and watch dudes spit game and shit like that, make the girls smile, they laugh a little bit, dude crack a joke, and I'm sitting there blown away. I'm like, this shit is actually working. Like, she's cracking a smile and everything. Oh, I can't get your number. What, you scared? No, I ain't scared. I'll give you my number right now. I mean, just stupid, basic ass reverse psychology. And they go for it. But now, they all bougie and so sophisticated and, these dusties. And so now they're going to front and pretend like all these black women out here, we just have scores and scores of sophisticated black women that need to be rescued. Oh, clutch the pearls. They need to be rescued by white men. We need a corporate executive white men to come rescue us because, oh my God, these dusties, they're just all over us like flies on shit. I'm like, for real? So there was never a window of time where y'all thought that type of reaction or response was sexy. Y'all running around, y'all so scared. Oh, we so scared. We're so scared of black men like this. And you're gonna pretend like you didn't think that was sexy, right? What did I hear when I first came online, right? What did I hear? Black women are with Ray Ray and Pookie and street dudes because of what? Because of why? Because they're in hostile environments. And they don't feel protected unless they're with a hostile male. Oh, you mean like this guy, right? You mean like this guy, right? Because if you're feeling intimidated by as a woman, chances are that he has that same level of intimidation when it comes to other men, and you will feel protected. That was the argument that sisters made online when they came online, when we originally first had the conversations about educated lanes versus street dudes. And they were given all type of justifications why they like street dudes. But now street dudes are dusty. They're just dusty and they're just disgusting, and I would never touch him, and I can't believe, he put his fingers all over you. Oh, so disturbing, right? These are these type of comments that these women are saying. And again, like I said, the women that are below a certain age, I'll give y'all a pass because I can't charge you with the crime because you weren't born yet in order to contribute to, the way that these men are. But the women that are older than you, that are sitting there, y'all sitting there bonding over this shit and clapping and yes, and get rid of these dusties and everything. You should slap them women, because those women are full of shit. They're full of shit. They're lying to you because they liked this shit. That shit was sick. Again, not necessarily by that man, but his whole demeanor, his whole aura. Okay? Again, put some muscles on that nigga, make him tatted up, give him one of them little Spanish mustaches or some shit like that, and give him I don't know, what I say? I already said tattoos, some muscles, and a tank top wife beater in the middle of the summertime, and some gray sweatpants with some white on white Jordans. Not white on white Jordans, white on white Air Force Ones, or some Timbs, or some Jordans or some shit. Oh my God, these women be falling the fuck out. Give a nigga a wife beater with a gray sweatpants and some, I don't know, Jordan 5s. And in New York, it's over. And a Yankee blue fitted cap. It's over. It's over. Again, that's the lie of when women come online, they want to talk about street. See, it's always harassment unless the sexual advancement is from a man that you actually want. It's always sexual harassment. But a dude can do literally, you could take two dudes, and both of them could be equally disrespectful or equally aggressive, and the one that the woman doesn't want, harassment. The one that the woman does want, he's so fine. He's so fine. And that's the dangerous juggling act that men have to do when it comes to approaching women. Like, you really got to be able to read, these sorts of cues and stuff like that, whether a woman is feeling you or not. And then you got the whole aspect of women putting up barriers. Granted, she looked like she was genuinely not interested. But that whole aspect of putting up barriers, I've heard women say it. I put up barriers to see if a man is strong enough to climb over them, because that really shows me how much he wants me. If a man can't handle the first barrier I put up, then I guess he didn't want me like that then. I only want men that want me like that. He has to demonstrate first. So I'm going to put up a brick wall, and he got to climb over that brick wall. You know what I mean? And then you got some women that are just ridiculous. Yes, I got to put up a brick wall, and I'm going to put up a moat and a drawbridge, and my moat has sharks and alligators in it, and then he has to get through that, and then he has to get into the courtyard, and then he has to defeat the dragon in the courtyard, and then climb the tower and defeat the wizard, and then he can get me as his prize. I'm like, damn, he gotta go through all that. He gotta climb the wall, go past the drawbridge and the moat with the alligator. Would you say alligators and sharks in it? Alligators and sharks. Okay. Then he gets into the courtyard, and then he's got to defeat what? A fire-breathing dragon? Fire-breathing and lightning bolt breathing. Okay. Fire-breathing and lightning bolt breathing. And then he has to climb the spiral case tower and then defeat the wizard. What type of powers does the wizard has? Is it just like all encompassing, like multiverse type of powers where like he can do anything and shit? Like, you know what I mean? Like Thanos with all the rings. Like, what type of powers does this wizard have? You know what I mean? Like, is it like, freaking, Hogwarts type of, what's that shit called? Harry Potter type of, like those type of spells, you know what I mean? Or is it, something bigger than that? You know what I mean? Or like, so we talking like Gandalf shit? What are we talking? Right? And then you get her. You know what I mean? So like, this is why, like what happened a couple months ago, right? Not even a couple months ago, a month ago, right? All these videos were popping up. Men don't approach women anymore. This is why. I'm not condoning the way that the dude approached her and, his creepy, like brushing her with his hand. I don't condone that. You know what I mean? There's a different way that you can approach. And you're supposed to have some sort of sense the type of class of woman that you're dealing with. But again, like, I don't think any of these guys would be doing this shit. I don't think. I know these guys wouldn't be doing this type of stuff if it didn't work. If it didn't work. You know what I mean? Like, you got Tupac Shakur spitting at reporters and shit like that. And Jada's married to Will Smith and talking about happy birthday, Tupac. You see what I'm saying? Again, 90s all the way up to, about the mid 2000s, probably about 2010, 2012. You know what I mean? I mean, this shit was in full effect, full swing. Women couldn't get enough of it. They couldn't get enough of the gangster rap and the gangster music. Again, I direct you to the lyrics of Sierra, Can't Leave Him Alone. I direct you to the lyrics of Destiny's Child, I Need a Soldier. What other song? I mean, like I said, Ruby Rose just came out with the song he's in his feelings. Read the lyrics of that shit. You know what I mean? And then I mean, there was a whole bunch of those type of lyrics, in the early 2000s. Every time you had a female rapper that was like a guest rapper, she was always talking that I need a gangster, I need a soldier. Even Queen Latifah, go look up I Need a Roughneck. Right? No, is that Queen Latifah? Hold on. Let me look that up. I don't know if that was Queen Latifah. Hold on. I Need a Rough Neck. Who sang that? Nah, that was MC Lyte. My bad. I said Queen Latifah. MC Lyte. I Need a Rough Neck. I mean, this is what these women were saying. Now all of a sudden, y'all gonna sit up in here and front like you need, Grant Wellington III. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, now y'all too good. Now y'all want to pretend like, all of y'all are Cynthia Bailey. I'm like, get the fuck out of my face with that bullshit. Again, it's nice that y'all are transitioning, but like, see, this is the whole problem, when it comes to ELs and like how we observe the shit. Like, you don't just get to wake up on the left side of bed and just decide, oh, I'm not this anymore. I'm not a hoe anymore. Or not when people already know your past. You see this with Mia Khalifa, and she's like, I want people to forget about the fact that I was in pornography. It's like, nobody's going to forget that, chick. Like, nobody's going to forget that. Like, you were, sitting there being skeeted on and shit. Like, nobody's going to forget that. But y'all literally think, and then you sit there, well, aren't we deserving of love? We feel we deserve, know your worth, ladies, know your worth. And it's like, that doesn't work after we know that guys just like this in this video were just running through you. Hence why, again, they make songs about it and sing it in their lyrics and shit like that about how they smutted you out and tossed you around to their boys and shit like that. What do you think? They're all just making it up in their lyrics? You know what I mean? And every time notice whenever you see a rapper, he's never alone in his music video. He got all his posse, all his crew. They all sitting there throwing guns up and middle fingers to the camera and everything. They're all a part of that shit. And again, we gonna tell me that they're all bitchless and all childless and they got no women, that they fool with? The fuck out of here. Now all of a sudden y'all gonna sit here and pretend like we don't touch those dudes. We ain't never mess with those dudes, even though your own arguments about and we were loyal and we supported you and niggas was sleeping on my couch and I helped this brother do this and do that. I'm like, yeah, because you were actually dealing with them. You can't be mad about whatever your interactions with them if you didn't have any interactions with them. See, we already know this based on your own complaints. Like, y'all don't even realize some of the shit that you all say. I'm like, oh, so you're mad because you were fucking with those. No, I wasn't fucking, but you just got finished talking about a dude sleeping on you. I was just talking hypothetically about what? Other women? You seem awfully mad, a little bit too mad for that to just be some other woman. No, you had a dude sleeping on your couch who was dusty, and you're mad about it because you didn't get anything out of it. And again, I'm sitting there looking, and this is how it happens because the woman will want to date you, right? But she realizes you ain't on that shit. But then she realizes, oh shit, I just told on myself. I'm like, yeah, bitch, you told on yourself. Yeah, you were fucking with dudes that were sleeping on your fucking couch. You were fucking with dusty dudes. And we know how dusty dudes get down. We know that they got you off of the strength of nothing, probably smutted you out, did some foul, disrespectful shit and everything. And now, because you're upgrading and you're being hypergamous and all that, now you want some other dude, some beta male simp to come through and wine you and dine you and put you on a pedestal because you know your worth. You know your worth. You want them to come through, swooshing, knocking people over, with their Superman capes. That's what you want. And you want them to expect them to pay for everything and cherish you. And you're going to try to use blackness to shame them into cherishing you. See, you don't value the black woman. This isn't about me valuing the black woman. I don't value chicks that have been smutted out by dusty ass dudes that you let run up all in you off of the strength of nothing. And now I'm supposed to come through and be some sucker ass nigga and do all this extra shit that this nigga didn't have to do. Well, that was a different phase of my life. Too bad, bitch. I know about it. That's why I don't want to. That's why I've told all the women that I'm like, stop talking. Stop telling everybody all your fucking business. But, it's too late. We know. You might be able to play that trick on the next generation, but we know. Like I said before, man, women cheat in the margins. They don't get caught because they cheat in the margins. They'll fuck you on their lunch break. Men, on the other hand, you got to wine and dine the side piece. The side piece typically wants to become the main piece. That's how men get caught. The side piece calling your wife, talking about, I'm fucking your man. He's my man now, bitch. Like all that crap. Most dudes, if they messing with a chick on the sidelines and everything, hey, all they wanted was the pussy anyway. They're like, hey, you coming over? Oh, okay, cool. Bang, 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 bang. Okay, they're done. And then he goes about his day and she goes about her day, all within that 30-minute time span or hour. No, I should say nobody's doing that on a 30-minute lunch break, but an hour-long lunch break. I remember I used to work at a company when I was young, and the CFO and the human resources lady, they were both married, white people. They were both married, and they would leave for like 3 hours, go to a hotel, because some other lady told me they will go to some other spot for 3 hours, go to a hotel, smash out, and then come back to work, and she's like fixing her hair and fixing all this shit. You know what I mean? He's got a, proud smirk on his face. Both of them were married to two different people. Man, and they were, every other day they were banging the shit out of each other in some nearby hotel. It was the craziest shit ever. But anyway, yeah. Y'all just need to stop lying, man. Like it just makes black men even more resentful of y'all. Like stop lying. Stop with the just y'all some fainting Victorian like y'all just like the most purest angelic women in the world and shit like that. Like that's what pisses us off. That's what makes us just have no sympathy, and we just have these savage ass responses to y'all because we know y'all full of shit. Y'all don't own it. You're like, yeah, we were really on this. But now that we see the error of our ways, no, y'all will never do that. It's never, oh, we see the error of our ways, let us correct the shit. No, it's always these evil black men, because everything that ever happens in the black community is the fault of the black man, because we don't engage in any of that for real. You don't engage. Bring all these kids out of wedlock out. Bring them over here. Little Jamal, yeah. Can you point to me, over there, who is your daddy? Oh, the guy over there with which one he look like? No, between the two of them. He's the one with the neck tattoo and the star on the side of his face. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Jamal, you can sit down now. Thank you. You were saying? You were saying what the type of men that you all don't fool with? that you're so sophisticated with your wine glasses? Fuck out of here. Anyway, that's all I got to say. That's my video. SWP out.